Hi, and welcome to Built to Amplify. My name is Kenny Harper, and I'm joined with Built to Prosper's Hasheem Francis. We are going to put on a webinar for you that is built to amplify. And I would like to take a moment to introduce my colleague and my friend from Built to Prosper. He is an entrepreneur. He is a leader in his community, and he is someone who has the attitude, expertise, and drive to thrive. Mr. Hasheem Francis.
Thank you. Welcome to Built to Amplify. We want to help you today in building your business, your leadership, and learning the marketing skills and strategies you need to take your business to the next level. So this is going to be a power pack webinar for you. We're here to serve. We're here to give you the information so you can actually go out and apply it and get the results. But it's an honor to be here with you, Kenny. And let's work to serve these people to make them get the maximum results, sir.
All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kick off into the speaker presentation, our slides, and we'll make a little transition here. Occasionally we have a little hang up at this part, so if there's any issues, we'll just let me know while I'm making the switch. I'm going to blink on and off. There's the screen I'm looking for. Built to Amplify. Kenny Harper of Rock My Image, Hasheem Francis of Built to Prosper. And please make sure to stay tuned in for a bonus gift at the end of the presentation. This is a presentation we're going to be giving a lot of information away. We're going to talk about some concepts from Built to Prosper, the book. We're going to talk about some ideas from Amplify Your Business. It's going to be powerful, so stay tuned all the way to the end for a bonus gift at the end of the presentation. And now to kick us off, Mr. Hasheem Francis is going to be talking about the Built to Prosper series. He has wrote this book along with his business partner, his wife, who's an amazing person in herself. They have two companion books that pretty much are very similar. One's geared a little bit more towards men. One is geared more for women. But this is Built to Prosper, the 9 principles of self-mastery. So important. If you really want to establish more in your life and you want to have more out of your life, you really need to have self-mastery. So without further ado, walking us through some of the 9 principles of self-mastery, giving us an oversight of Built to Prosper, Mr. Hasheem Francis, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Harper. I appreciate the great introduction. As you can see on this first slide, and talking about Built to Prosper, the principles, the 9 principles of self-mastery. We run several businesses that span across the globe, and we wanted to work with some development tools to be able to help our team members out. And that's how this book, The 9 Principles of Self-Mastery, came about. I would journal a lot of experiences throughout life. I'll do a lot of studying, business studying, leadership studying, financial studying, and I would journal my experience to make sure I get the strategies that I need, and I make sure I implement those strategies to get results. So within this book, the 9 principles of self-mastery, these are tried and true principles. These are things that we implement in our business, things we have our team members implement as well. The book is geared off into 3 sections. You have section 1, where it's the live in peace model. The peace model is all about growth. When we say live in peace, we're not just saying, you're hugging trees or you're walking around in just a numb state, but living in peace is all about development of yourself. The second section is where you utilize your power. And then the third section is where you create prosperity. So we broke it out into 2 sections. We wrote the first version of Built to Prosper, which is the universal for men and women. And then we decided to gear it more towards women. My wife wanted to write a book and gear it more towards women. Now, principle 1, it talks about I am what I think I am. Now, it's a very basic principle, but most people fail to realize that they are the gardeners of their mind. Whatever you put into your mind tends to reflect in your life. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. When you put empowerment in, empowerment come out. The things that you utilize, you put into your mind, it's like you got to look at your mind as you're the gatekeeper of this very, very, very valuable asset. And the things you allow to go into that mind tends to multiply, and you get a return on that investment. Either that return comes out to benefit you in life, or that return comes out to deplete or add a negative situation to your life. You are the creator. I am what I think I am. The way you feel about yourself, the things that you tell yourself, is how what you think about yourself. The next principle we talk about is to guard your mouth. In the good book, it says the power of the tongue has the power of life and death. So the words that you speak to your either your business partners, your team, or anything you're looking to do, the words you speak have life. So if you speak in life to build those things up, to amplify them, or you speak in negativity over them. Most people, if you that work a 9 to 5 job, they spend the first hour of their time complaining by the coffee machine, speaking to negative Susie or depressing Tim. We call them negative Susie and depressing Tim because anytime you're in their environment, the sun could be shining, it could be a beautiful day, but the first words that come out of their mouth is something that is very negative to bring your spirit down. So you have to make sure you're not indulging or engaging in those type of conversations when you're building a team or leading a team. So you want to guard the words that you speak. And you are the author of your life, and the words that you speak determines the book that people read. So if you're always putting yourself down, you can't expect other people to build you up. So you have to be your own number one cheerleader in life. When you're looking at your business, you have to say, I'm a great business leader. Or if you lead in a sales organization, I'm a great sales leader. You're speaking positive things into your life so you can get those results and you can attract the right people into your life. But if you're constantly downing yourself, speaking negative of yourself, and not empowering yourself, you can't expect other people to do it. And that slides into principle number 3, where my attitude is either my friend or it's my foe. Your attitude is either an asset or a liability in your life. As I talked about negative Susie and depressing and Jim, if your attitude, the attitude that you bring to your organization, your business, or your sales, whatever type of industry you're working in, your career as well, because we do have people that are viewing this that are career driven individuals. Your attitude is either an asset or a liability to that organization. Now, your attitude is something you develop, you continuously work on. No one is born into a positive with a positive attitude. Every now and then I find myself in a funk, but I have accountability partners to make sure I get out of that funk. If they hear me speaking negative words or they see me going down that path, they always say something to wake me up, to make me see the things that I'm grateful for in life. And one tool strategy we use within the book is to write down 5 things that you're grateful for over the next 30 days. When you focus on things that you're grateful for, the things that the challenges and the obstacles you may face in your business or in your life, those things tend to just wean away when you focus on things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for life. Today I just said I'm grateful for fresh water. Someone asked me how I was doing. I said I'm doing great. It's like, wow, you have things you could complain about. It's like, no, long as I have fresh water, I'm fine. I was grateful for having clean water to drink. And I made sure each day, to make sure each day that I'm focusing on something I'm grateful for, something that I'm positive about, something I want to work on in a positive way, because my attitude could either be my friend or my foe. If I'm meeting with business clients and my attitude is not in the best shape, I'll make sure I'll spend 10 to 15 minutes sitting in my car or walking around the building, building myself up to make sure when I go into those meetings, I'm in the best representation there is. Because your first introduction to anyone, they can see your attitude on the way you dress, the way you speak, and the way you look. And if you could go to the next slide, we'll gear off into the second section of utilizing your power. In this section, it has 3 principles. And the first principle is, whose report do you believe? Your belief is your power. What do you believe about you? Do you believe your business is adding value? Do you believe your marketing plan is adding value, getting the results? Your belief is your power. and how much belief you have in what you're doing. If you're a sales organization, you're career minded, you're a doctor, you're an attorney, do you believe in what you're doing? As I spoke about in the last one, you have to be your own number one fan. Sometimes in life, you have to cheer yourself up. You have to pump yourself up. You can't expect other people to do what you're not willing to do. If you're not going to be your own number one fan, you can't expect others to be your fan as well. So at times you have to build yourself up. Whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the critics? Are you going to believe the naysayers? Are you going to believe the negative news? Some people say CNN, we call it constantly negative news. Are you going to believe all of those reports? Or are you going to develop yourself to be your own number one fan, to pour in the information you need so you can take your business to the next level? Principle number 5 is where you create an inspired vision. The mind thinks in pictures. When you're thinking of something, just think of a car. First thing, an image come into your mind. When you think about food, whatever your favorite food, a picture, an image come into your mind. When you have an inspired vision, these are the things you want to go after in life. Things you want to sit down in the book, in a book Built to Prosper, the 9 Principles of Self-Mastery. There's a chart in there where you'll be able to map out your inspired vision, where you focusing on the totality of your life. You're focusing on your health. You're focusing on your finances. You're focusing on your relationship. You're focusing on your spiritual aspect. You're focusing on your business. You got to have a vision for each area of your life. 95% of the population just have a vision of being rich. They only focus on the financial aspect of their life. Now, if you have a goal of being rich and you don't know what rich mean, that's just like throwing a needle inside a haystack. You have to be specific on what you want to acquire in life. If you know what wealth means to you, you have to know your financial freedom number. If health is something you aspire to, you have to know what being healthy looks like to you. You have to make that definition of what health looks like to you. If you want a loving relationship, you have to determine what a loving relationship looks like to you. As I always say, no one can define success for you. Success is personal. It's a personal experience. It's a personal journey. I cannot tell you what success in finances is. I can't tell you what success in a relationship is. Everyone is different. It has to be personal to you. I may want to be a billionaire. You may want to be a millionaire. No one is wrong. It's just what do you consider success? The only other requirement is to think big, think outside of your comfort zone. Principle number 6, decide or be conformed. It's your life. It's your life to live. Yeah. It's your life. You were put here for a purpose. You have to make it count. What I mean by being decide or be conformed, you have to make a decision. When you create an inspired vision, you have to decide to go out and do whatever is necessary to make sure you accomplish those goals, or you'll be conformed. How many people in the past year said they'll start a business? If you look at the statistics, it's maybe 70% of the businesses go out of the business in the first 5 years because they haven't decided or committed. Yes, some things happen in life, some challenges happen in life, but those that get past those 5 years, they continue to work at it. They have made a decision. They all out committed to accomplishing their goal and living out their inspired vision because they know when they accomplish their goals, it affect generations and legacies to come. Great thing, most parents that haven't created an inspired vision for themselves, they tend to live through their children. They push their children through life trying to get their children to accomplish all these goals, but they don't have their own goals. I want my children to know that I have my own goals in life that I need to accomplish, and I want them to have their own goals in life with my guidance to help them along the way. Because one of my goals is for them to take over this business one day and take it to higher levels than what I have taken it. And Mr. Harper, if you could go to the section number 3, please. Now, section number 3, this is where you create prosperity. This is where you're building. It says built to prosper. Live in peace, utilize your power, and create prosperity. Principle number 7 is being committed to the cause. Great success does not come easy. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And I got news for you. If you're listening to this webinar, this online training, success is very boring. And when you reach that success that you have decided for yourself, you would never know you arrive. When I set out goals for myself to earn a certain income, it was probably 2 to 3 years later till I realized I hit that goal 2 to 3 years previously. I was so committed to getting the work done, committed to serving, committed to building leaders that I didn't even focus and realize that I hit my goal 2 to 3 years later because every year our goals change. And and one thing you have to do is take responsibility for your results. Now, if you in the beginning of say January, everyone call it New Year's resolution. They're going to join a gym and lose 500 pounds, 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever pounds it is. The gyms are packed. You can't get on any treadmills. You can't get on any of the machines because it's packed in January. Come February, it's like a ghost town. People only commit to things 5, 6 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, and they give up. But they stay consistent in paying that membership fee, that monthly membership fee, but they're not getting the results of that investment. You have to take responsibility for your results. If you have financial goals, you want to stick with it until you reach it. If it requires you cutting back on some things, eliminating debt out of your life, take responsibility for your result. Principle number 8, you have to create a circle of trust. A circle of trust is a circle of advisors, a counsel, where there's win-win relationships. This is where you find a mentor or a coach. Your circle of trust are people that are like-minded individuals. These are the people that's going to hold you accountable to those goals you've written down or that vision you've written down in that inspired vision section of the book of Built to Prosper. This is where your mentors, your coaches come in. You may ask, what is the difference between a mentor and a coach? A difference between a mentor and a coach, what we say here at Built to Prosper, a mentor is someone who has played the game and have the scars from playing the game. A coach is someone who knows the game through observation. They have studied what it takes to know the game, and they have got the results. A mentor actually played the game, got the scars from playing the game. So that's the difference. Both are very helpful. Now, in terms of holding you accountable, a mentor and a coach holding you accountable is totally different. A mentor is not going to not going to put up with any pity party you may have in regards to accomplish your goal. Because you got to remember, they went through it. They have the scars. So those scars can be fresh. They can understand the challenges you may have in your business and not reaching your goals on time, or you're not getting the support from family and friends to help you. So they know what it's like to get there. So they're not going to sympathize with your excuses. A coach will find navigation ways for you to overcome those challenges in life. So it's two different. But when you create that circle of trust, you want to build win-win relationship. Win-win relationships, you're doing what is required of you, and your mentor's coach is doing what's required of them. They're not just sitting back accepting your excuses, accepting your pity party. No, they're pushing you to reach new heights so you can amplify. You can amplify, go to the next level of your business. Principle number 9, I shall have what I desire. You are the architect of your future. You are the designer. You're the engineer. You design your future. You shall have what you desire. Whatever you put forth effort in, that's what you shall have in your life. Now, if you set up any type of inspired goals or visions for your life and you're not doing whatever is necessary from your mentors, your coach, you're not going to get the results because you are the architect, not the mentor, not the coach. They can only guide you, they can only push you, they can only hold you accountable, but you're the architect of your future. You have to put it together, you have to design it, but you have to do the actual work to go out and get it done. Now, when you create an inspired vision and you desire to reach that next level, maybe you're an inspiring entrepreneur. Maybe you're in a sales business. Maybe you want to go out. You're the first person in your family to graduate high school, first person in your family to graduate college, and you have these aspirations in life. I want to give you 3 things you're going to face in terms of opposition to get you over. This is built to prosper, the 9 principles of self mastery. These 3 oppositions you're going to face, everyone faces them in life when they're reaching for a higher level to be great or to achieve greatness in life. You're going to face opposition from your family members. What I mean by your family members, those that are closest to you. Remember, they knew you when you were born, when you were young, when you borrowed money from them, when you made mistakes, when you took your parents' car, you did something out of the ordinary. So these are the people that know you. And you go to these people and you tell them, I'm looking to start my business. Or you in sales, I want to sell you life insurance. I want to sell you real estate. And they looking at you and say, what? What are you talking about? Didn't you just borrow $20 from me a couple weeks ago? Didn't you just borrow my car and didn't put no gas in it a couple months ago? Now you talk about you want to be an entrepreneur. You got these dreams to change your life. You're going to face that opposition from your family. If you can overcome that opposition, you just move 20% greater to accomplishing your goals. Most people cannot take the opposition from their family. When they face any type of opposition, they give up immediately with any type of opposition from their family. But if you're watching this webinar, I think you'll go further. The second opposition you'll face is from your friends. Now, when you're starting a business, you're starting your career, you're going to have to sacrifice some time away from those you're normally associated with, your friends. You're going to may have to quit a bowling league, may have to quit a basketball league, may have to quit the baseball league, may have to quit the chess club so you could develop yourself and be in the environment that's conducive to you building your business, you going back to school, getting the grades that you need so you can become a doctor, attorney, or lawyer, and you learn how to amplify that business. Most people, when they face opposition from their friends, they tend to go through a period of loneliness because those people, when you tend to achieve greater and you want greater in life more than where you currently are, all of your friends are not going to believe in you. They're all not going to want to travel with you on that journey. And it's okay. You're going to lead, some people are going to fall off by the wayside as you go along your journey. Most people give up because they can't deal with that lonely period. Every entrepreneur went through a lonely period sometime in their business where it was just them and their business, and they had to do what's necessary to take that business to the next level. That was opposition. Opposition one is your family. Opposition two is your friends. The third and the final opposition is yourself. If you can overcome yourself and your disbelief in anything that you're doing in life, you're guaranteed success. And this book, Built to Profit, the 9 principles, if you go back and review the 9 principles, these principles to help you to overcome all 3 of those obstacles, and yourself being the biggest obstacle there is. Most people self sabotage their success. Most people achieve some sort of success that they feel they want to accomplish, and they'll sabotage it. Some people get in a relationship and sabotage that relationship. Some people go join a gym, get in great shape, but they'll find some way to sabotage it. They'll walk by that fast food restaurant and buy that burger and blow everything that they're working for or everything that they achieve. Some people just have self sabotage mentality that where they're very destructive. But when you tend to build yourself and you become the gardener of your mind and you develop yourself to the point you don't have to worry about those things. As you grow, your income grow, the relationships grow, your life grows. As you grow, you are the key factor into everything. And Mr. Harper, if you could go to the next slide, or a coin that we use here at Built to Prosper, a coin of a quote that I use all the time is be a great student of life so you can be an outstanding teacher of living. What I mean by that, being a great student of life is an ongoing process. You continuously learning. You continuously looking for information to help you take your business to the next level. Now, you're not just looking for it, but you're taking those strategies, you're applying it, then you get the results. And that's where you become the outstanding teacher of living. You just look at yourself as a bucket. Right now, we're pouring into you. Right now, information and strategies to help you take your business, your career, your life to the next level. We're pouring into you as a bucket. We're pouring out of our bucket, pouring into your bucket. Now, as we pour into your bucket, you already have some information there that you learned along life. Now, when we pour, information may spew over on your bucket. Your bucket tends to overflow. Now, that overflow can just maybe flow on the floor and just wash away, or you can teach someone else and pour into their bucket. Just look at it as it this way. You pour into other buckets, their requirement is to pour into someone else, to teach. It's an ongoing process. There's enough success for everybody that you don't have to be selfish. As you see on the slide, Built to Prosper, we have a coaching program where we focus on business and leadership. All of our coaches are tried and true and have life experiences in business and leadership and have the results. If you're looking, you're highly motivated, you are corporate, you need individualized coaching. We're here. You can visit us at www.btpcompanies.com and visit our coaching program. We have 3-month programs, 6-month programs, and 12-month program. The reason we break it out into that way is we believe that 90 days of working with one of our coaches, you will get the result. Working with one of our coaches 6 months, you'll get results. Working with them for the full year, results is on potential. And when you work with us on an annual basis, we introduce you to our circle of trust, some of our business partners, to where we can help you network with the council of business owners and leadership so you can go to that next level. Kenny, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Excellent. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you, Hasheem, for sharing and pouring that highly inspirational, informational content out of your bucket, sharing it with us, people who are tuned in. And now we're kind of making a transition in our Built to Amplify presentation, joint presentation, into Amplify Your Business, the Rockstar Professional's Guide to Marketing Success, Volume 1. It's the first of this series by Rock My Image. You know, the way we ordered this webinar was done on purpose, and how we connected between Hasheem and myself was done on purpose. Built to Prosper, highly believe before you can build anything of greatness into your life, you must have self-mastery. You really must have that confidence in yourself, the right mindset, the right attitude, the expertise and drive to thrive in life. And that's kind of why we started our book, Amplify Your Business, with level number 1, getting in tune. Now, in our AMP series, we basically take you from level 1 all the way through 11. So we're turning up the volume in your success in whatever it is that you're doing. So you may be an entrepreneur and have a business of your own. You may be working a job or have a career. Whatever it is you're doing in life, you want to amplify your results. Hasheem brought some really good points up. And we talk about some similar things in this first step. Setting the stage for success. Imagine for a moment if I asked you to set up a stage for the next Super Bowl. Say, have you ever seen the Super Bowl halftime show? Have you ever seen that? Usually there's a lot of lights, there's theatrics, there's music, there's all this stuff going on. And you know what's really cool? Is to do it in the middle of the Super Bowl. I mean, it's the biggest game of the year. So many people are tuned in, and they have football players playing this game. They're playing their hearts out. And in just a short amount of time, they need to get everything up in order, set up for success, and manage to get the stage and all the technical aspects up and running in such a short amount of time. Then it's live to the world, and everything needs to be as perfect as possible. Because if there's a mistake, do you think people would catch it? Of course they would. Everyone catches those little mistakes. And then it would be on the news, and then it would be the next controversy. So when we're talking about setting the stage for success, we're thinking about, being prepared. So if I was to ask you, I'd say, hey, how would you go about setting the stage if I asked you to, set up the stage for the next Super Bowl? What would you do? Now, most of us would probably first maybe pass out if we thought we really had to do this, because that would be a real big challenge. That's, high level in front of a lot of people. We haven't done that before. Most of us haven't had anything close to that experience. A lot of stress, a lot of information, and most of us, again, we just haven't done anything like it. So we could be overwhelmed. And a lot of times in life, we can run into those situations when we're overwhelmed, trying things we haven't done before. But what would we do? Now, what would be the probably worst thing to do? The worst thing to do would say, I'm not even going to attempt to do it because I am so overwhelmed that I'm not even going to take the opportunity. It could be a life-changing opportunity. It could be very fruitful for you, but if you don't even take the opportunity because you're afraid or you don't know how to do it, then you're not going to get the fruit from the effort. And life can give us a lot of opportunities that we can either take or not. So if you said, all right, well, I'm going to take it, what would be your first step? Now, if you went about and said, I'm just going to start trying to build a stage and hire people and just put it together, good for you for jumping in the hot water and making things happen. But, we can't just start building a stage. If you could just hire a bunch of people, you're given a lot of money and you hired a bunch of people and you said, go ahead and build the stage. People went out there and they started to try to build something. And there was no plan. There was no idea of what you're trying to build. There was no direction. There was no systems. It would be a mess. Even if you had all the money in the world and all the people that you needed, if you didn't have a clear plan of what you were trying to build and a clear systems and efficiencies built in and rehearsed to be able to be efficient, it would be a nightmare, regardless of the talented people. You could have the most talented people on the football field, right? You could have the most talented people, but if you don't have a good coach, if you don't have someone giving you the direction, and you don't have a good strategy, then some of the top talents can get beat over a good strategy. So when we're talking about getting in tune, it's really about setting the stage for success. It's about defining a clear objective. What are you actually trying to do in general? A lot of times people start doing something because maybe other people are doing it or because they think it's a good idea, but they haven't really defined what they're trying to accomplish. Hasheem talked in his presentation, about having the inspired mission. We kind of have similar thought here. Now, his presentation was really talking about, your inspired vision of your life. And we're talking about a bold vision. We're talking about really the business part, whether it's in your career or in your business, whatever it is you're trying to build. We want you to have clarity of that. We want you to be able to think about what that is. What does your day look like when you get up in the morning? What does your day look like? What is the perfect day if your business was working the exact way you wanted it to? What would you do? Where would you live? What might you own? Who would you be working with? What skills would you utilize in a day? How much money would you make? How much time would you have for extracurricular activities or being with your family? She made a good point. A lot of times, most people don't take the time to really think about what they're clearly trying to build and get specific with it. So just like going back to our example, if you had a stage you're trying to build for the Super Bowl halftime show and you didn't make it clear to everyone exactly what you're trying to build and everyone wasn't on the same page, the likelihood of pulling that off is very slim. So when you have clarity, if you get it down, you get the blueprints out, You really draw things out. You talk with, the artistic team and see how we can make the stage look with theatrics. You talk with the technical team. You realize what you can do with power and how things need to be run. You talk with the administration team. How many people do you need to hire? You talk with the team to help get things done logistically. How are you going to get all the pieces and parts in place at the right time? Everything comes together like a puzzle. And so the first thing, Rock My Image does when we were working with people was we challenge them to think about their lives, what they're building, what they envision for their company. And the majority of the times when we ask somebody, what is your bold vision? What do you think the answer is? Most common answer is, I don't know. I'm working on this right now, this next step, but they don't have a clear vision of what they're trying to build with clarity. Maybe they have an idea. I'm trying to build a restaurant. I'm trying to build my practice, but they don't have clear vision of how that's going to work out. So that's the first step. We also talk about having an inspired mission, why that's important, your reason, motivation, your why. All those things are important to really define, put time and energy to it, because they're the foundation on what everything else that you're going to build rides on. If your foundation is not solid, you run the risk of having a faulty foundation. You run the risk of spending a lot of time and energy, money, learning what doesn't work. And a lot of times it goes back to not having a solid foundation. So many people skip this step. And skip it because it's easy to skip. You can skip this. You can start working in a trade. You can start growing a business. You can start a job or a career before having a bold vision. And it's okay to get started, but before you get very far at all, you really want to take this time, step back before you take any steps further and define what you want. This is your life, as mentioned earlier. You decide what you want out of it, and it starts by defining your bold vision. In Amplify Your Business, we define these things a bit further. We walk you through the process of actually defining these for yourself and how to implement them into your business. When you know, when your team knows, when your clients know what your bold vision is, that's how you're going to bring it into existence. And if you study any successful person, you'll notice that there's a common trend in how successful people become successful. They start with the end in mind. They have a bold vision. So let's set the stage for success. If you haven't done these things, if you haven't taken the time to actually work through this for yourself, stop right now and don't stop watching the webinar right now. Stop in your business and take the time out to really get clarity on what you're trying to do and amplify that. A lot of times people have an idea, general idea of what they're trying to achieve, but it's not bold. It's not challenging, and it can be amplified. So that's level number one. In level number two, we go into sharpening your awareness. In sharpening your awareness, we talk about the 5 chords of branding yourself. Now, we have this belief that everyone has a brand and everyone's in sales. Did you know you're a salesperson? Did you know you had a personal brand? Well, guess what? You are a salesperson and you do have a personal brand. Your brand is everything that represents you, who you are, what you do, the purpose you serve. And either it's working for you or it could be working against you. And if you think, well, it's probably just not doing anything for me, well, then it's working against you. Because if it's not working for you, it is working against you. There is no real in between. Okay? So you have a brand and you're in sales. And with sharpening your awareness, when we're sharpening your awareness, we're starting to get you aware of 5 different chords of your personal brand, including your core competencies, crafting your story, why your story and your background is so important, your USP or your unique sales proposition. Some people call it the UVP or unique value proposition. Sometimes we call it your claim to fame. And in a moment, I'm going to share a little bit more about that. And don't forget, at the end of this session, I'm going to be giving you some additional resources to how you can apply these in your business or your career. We also talk about connecting with your audience. There's a whole world out there, and if nobody knows who you are, what you do, or the purpose you serve, then you might as well be a solo person on your own, where nobody knows anything about you, and therefore you can't serve or receive. So we want to build an audience, we want to claim our stage, we want to be the rock star professionals, and it starts really with connecting with your audience and providing value to them, serving other people. When you provide other people value, that's how you can gain value. And then upping your game, and in the book, we go through what GAME, the acronym, really is, and give you ideas for how you can up your game. But right now, I'm going to share with you the USP, the unique sales proposition. So a lot of times people get asked, if I ask someone, what do you do? Maybe you're out networking or you're at a party or you meet someone asks you, what do you do? And a lot of times what people do is they say, well, and they tell the title of the title that they have in their occupation. Well, so that is one way to tell somebody your title, but that's not really what you do, right? And so if you are viewed as one of many other people who have that same title, and you're not really differentiating yourself or sharing the value that you provide, you're missing an opportunity. So a way to amplify your business and your personal brand is really to take time to identify your USP and really pull it out so people know what it is. And so one technique to do this, I've got the model right there on the screen, and we'll read through this and I'll give you an example. So your company name is the only business type that claim to fame. Sounds a little bit like code because it's just an example model. But let me give you an example with some detail. So I'm going to give you an example of, I can actually tell you just, what Rock My Image might say. It's like, Rock My Image is the only authority marketing agency that leverages the Rockstar Professionals blueprint to help people monetize their expertise. So, I went to something, Rockstar Professionals Blueprint. Maybe I could have just said that leverages a unique blueprint. Maybe sometimes you can use words that confuse people, and maybe that doesn't work for you at that time. Sometimes it can help. Sometimes you got to get a little feedback. Sometimes you'll say something people don't understand, and that intrigues them. So one thing I said in there was that monetizes your expertise. Now, a lot of times I've told people that, and they're like, monetize your expertise? What is that? So then that's what you want people to do. You do want people to hear what you say, and then ideally ask for a bit more. So how do you do that? Or what is that? You want people to inquire. If people aren't inquiring, you may need to change it to get them to inquire. Make something sound intriguing. Make people want some more information. When you get people wanting more, then that's how they're coming to you versus you chasing them. So when you amplify your business, you put out a positive frequency, you provide value, you have people coming to you versus you chasing them. So people would say, all right, well, how do you monetize your knowledge? Let me tell you how we do that. And that conversation starts engaging with them. But you don't want to data dump on somebody where you start overwhelming them and you get the glaze over You've seen it before, and you probably have given it out when somebody just starts talking all about their business, blah, 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 blah. Do things in a way that gives a little information and then gets them to find out more. So going through the steps here and sharpening your awareness, we're talking about 5 chords of branding yourself, the core competencies, crafting your story, your USP, connecting with your audience, upping your game. We break those down, give you some exercises to go through to really leverage those in your conversations, in your marketing, so that you can really leverage them. And then level 3, we turn it up again. We're preparing to rock here. There's my business partners, Manny Torres and Jen DeVore. We talk about the 4 C's of strategic marketing. And one of those C's we have is committing to a marketing budget. So if you're going to be marketing your business, you need to have a marketing budget, whether that's a fiscal budget or even a time budget. You need to be able to budget something to be able to market your business. The number one important thing for your business, believe it or not, is marketing. You say, well, is that really true? Well, it is, because if you don't get people to come to you, if you don't make sales, then it doesn't matter how good you are at everything else, you'll go out of business. That's why marketing is so important for people to understand, to amplify, so they get the best results for themselves, their business. And if you're in a company, if you're in a job, you need to market yourself so you can elevate and grow in your career. If you can't market yourself, you're not going to elevate and grow. But you can do this when you're following a strategy and you're taking action and the right steps. When you have the self-mastery principles, when you're built to prosper, when you're amplifying your business, that's how you can succeed. Okay. So we also give you in this section of the book, how to create a 1-page map or a marketing action plan. We talk about how to conserve your time or money. You have a limited amount of both. And if you had to value one over the other, guess which is more valuable, your time or your money? It's not a trick question. The answer is your time. You only have so much time. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now you could spend your money and you might lose it, but you can earn it back. You cannot earn back time. You have a limited amount, so you really want to use it and conserve it as much as possible. But when it comes down to time and money, leverage your money to save you time. Don't try to use your time to save you a little bit of money. That's backwards thinking, and it's not going to work out for you in the long run. You'll lose too much time. So use your money to make more money. And then last but not least, choosing your tactics strategically. There are a lot of different tactics out there right now in the marketplace, especially with social media. There's direct mail, there's traditional advertising. There's so much different marketing. You can do speaking, you can author a book, and you can see a lot of different people saying you should do this, you should do that. Here's the benefits of this, benefits of that. Don't start just choosing a tactic because there is a tactic out there, or it looks interesting, or other people are doing it. They may have different goals. They may have different principles or things in their business that may work for them, or you don't even know that they're actually getting results from what they're doing. So it goes back to having first a strategy in place before you just start choosing tactics. You really need to start back with having a solid strategy and then strategically choosing the tactics that best fit towards your strategy. All right, so all these 4 C's of strategic planning are in the book. And real quick, we'll talk about the 90-day action planner. The Rockstar Professional, we believe that in order to succeed, in order to get new results, you need to take new action. And just as Hasheem talked about, when you're building yourself to prosper, you could do this in units. You can't really expect to get a lot of progress done in one day. You can get a lot of things knocked off a checklist maybe, but real significant progress, it takes a little bit of time to really move something substantial. You can have a transformation in a day, by the way, but you get the point. you're really trying to work on a big rock, something significant. And so setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible to the visible. So if you have a bold vision, if you're really looking to amplify, you need to be able to set strategies to take action. Okay. So in this book, we talk about goals, KPIs, key performance indicators, milestones, strategies, action, your why, all these things. We lay it out for you. There's a journal part to it where you're walking through, staying focused on whatever it is you're trying to achieve in your 90 days. And we really believe in this because a lot of people get so overwhelmed with building that Super Bowl stage. They start maybe making a little bit of progress. They're not getting it worked out, and a lot of people tend to give up. So we say, don't worry about building the whole stage at once. Break it down, reverse engineer it, have the bold vision, work backwards, and then start with, let's get the first significant step taken. And let's do that in the next 90 days. All right, so remember to stay tuned for a bonus gift at the end of the presentation. If you've tuned in this far, congratulations for staying tuned already. We have a few minutes left, so I've got an opportunity. Opportunity is knocking. Knock, 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 knock. And I'd like to share this with you if you've made it this far and you've listened to Hasheem talk about Built to Prosper. And we've talked about Amplify Your Business. And there's an opportunity I have for you. And who this is not for the person who just tuned in to get some ideas from the webinar and they're not really looking to take action and actually implement the ideas. You can listen, that's fine, but again, this is for the people who are serious about implementing the ideas, who really want to dive in deep, learn the different strategies, gain the assets from the book, and begin to implement them into the life. You have the attitude, expertise, and drive to thrive. So if you're looking for that, if you're looking to really implement these ideas, these principles to their full extent, this is for you. So here we have the Built to Amplify, Take Action opportunity. And what this includes is Built to Prosper, the digital copy of Built to Prosper, and an audio, which is in the works. It may take a little bit of time to get that done, but it is going to get done. So Built to Prosper, the digital download, you'll be able to read this, and eventually you'll have the ability to listen to this. It's going to be a great, very powerful book. It goes through the 9 principles of self-mastery in more detail, with examples, with extra resources for implementation. Also in this wonderful opportunity, Amplify Your Business. You get a digital copy of Amplify Your Business, the Rockstar Professional's Guide to Marketing Success, Volume 1, plus the audio, which is currently available. So you can download that, you can listen to it in your drive to work, or whether you're working out, on your walk, whatever. You can read it. When you download that, the book, you can register the book. There's a lot of extra additional assets that you can receive just by registering the book. Templates, resources, things of that nature. Plus, I'm throwing in Rock My Images Action Planner tool. This is a spreadsheet tool that you can use to document the steps that you're going to take and put it in a order. You take notes, track your progress, along with a physical copy of the 90-day Action Planner book, which will be mailed to you. So this is a really great offer with a lot of value. And you're going to be amazed at what we're giving it away for, really. Oh, by the way, a bonus. I'm going to give you a half hour of my time, which is the most valuable thing you have to offer. Really, my time is very valuable. But I am looking for people that have the attitude, expertise, and drive to thrive. So if someone's going to be willing to take a step, take the action opportunity, they're going to make sure that they're built to prosper, they're going to amplify their business, they're going to put their 90-day action planner into work, then I definitely want to talk to you, because you are the type of people that I look to connect with. So I will give you half an hour of my time just to connect with you if you take advantage of the Take Action opportunity. The total value of this is close to $200. When you consider you're going to get the audios, the digitals, the tool, and the book, plus my time. That's an amazing opportunity. So the Built to Amplify Take Action opportunity, total value, typically it's, if I was to sell this at cost, you're going to be around $150. But I'm making an offer if you've sat through this whole presentation, because it shows me that you've really are tuned into this and this is something for you, and I want to connect with people like you. But I do want you to take action. I'm not going to do it for $150. Seriously, giving it away for $35. That's so much value, it's ridiculous. $35. So if all this did was help you really implement self-mastery principles in your life, so you had better relationships, you had better finances, you had better life, wouldn't that be worth it? Of course it would. If all this did was give you some tools that you could put into your business or your career to help elevate that, wouldn't that be totally worth it? Of course it would be. So get everything, take action now. You can do this by visiting http:// and this is a bit.ly link, that's bit.ly/RMI-special. This will take you to Rock My Images website, where you'll have the ability to make a purchase and get everything that was mentioned in this past slide. I'll show it to you again. The Built to Prosper digital version, plus the audio, the Amplify Your Business digital version, PDF, plus the audio, the Action Planner tool, which is a spreadsheet tool, very valuable. We sell this in my agency, and the 90-day Action Planner book, which will be physically mailed to you, so you'll have that. Plus, I'm going to give you half an hour of my time as a bonus as a strategy session. So total value, close to $150. And again, just to give you a glimpse of that, it's $35. If you go ahead and do that now, this opportunity is not going to last for a long time. I'm specifically looking to connect with a few people this summer as I'm launching a new initiative, Experts of Influence. I want to highlight people who have the attitude, expertise, and drive to thrive, working on a book. I'm going to be featuring people who are stepping up to the game, really inspirational people. So if you're looking to get involved, you want to be part of this movement, if you're looking to amplify your business, if you're built to prosper and ready for the challenge and the take action opportunity, go ahead, take action right now. Guarantee you it's going to be worth your time. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Built to Amplify. You can connect with me. You can find me at Rock My Image, or you can go to kennyharper.rocks. Hasheem, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and jump back on and plug ways for people to get in touch with you.
Absolutely. You can visit our corporate website at www.btpcompanies.com. That's btpcompanies.com, or you can go to www.hasheemfrancis.com. Same name on Facebook, same name on Twitter, same name on Instagram, Hasheem Francis. Please connect. Look forward to hearing from you. We'd like feedback on the webinar, the online training session, but we also, more importantly, would like to hear the results that you're getting. So please send that information to us. You can send an email to our company, info@btpcompanies.com, and just share some feedback with us.
Excellent. So definitely connect with us on social media. Reach out. We'd love to hear your feedback. If you have any questions, we are on social media. Glad to answer any questions that you may have. A lot of times you get a lot of great information. Sometimes I don't know, should I do this? Should I not do this? Just make sure that the person in the wheel is the person that you want at the wheel. Don't let fear ever drive your decisions. Fear is not going to drive you to a place of success. A lot of times people don't take action in their lives. It's because they're afraid of something not working out. They're afraid of, what if this doesn't work out? What if this isn't the best thing for me? The people who are the most successful, they don't ask the what if questions in a negative connotation. They ask, how do I do this? How can I make this work? How can I implement this and get the results I want? When you flip the script, that's when it all comes together. So you are built to amplify. Take a step, claim your stage, and we hope to catch you on a future event, at a future event, or on a future webinar. This has been Kenny Harper and Hasheem Francis. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate positive feedback on social, and we wish you a good one.
Thank you.